What's up guys, my name's Adrian and welcome to my upholstery studio, aka my burning hot garage. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a diamond stitch panel. This one specifically, it is actually for this racing seat you see right here. It is actually this headpiece. That's actually an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. But I'm going to go over all my tips and tricks on what I do to make my diamonds look really nice and full. For these, I didn't actually use a pattern. I drew these out, so I'll also show you how to measure out and figure out whatever size diamonds you want. It is super easy to do, and it is a huge upgrade to any upholstery project. I really love them. I try to put them in every job because it just looks great. So let's get to it. So here's the panel on the seat that I want to have diamond stitches, and as you can see, the actual piece I cut is a lot bigger than what I need. And you're going to want to do that because when you sew these diamonds in, the material is actually going to shrink by a significant amount. So the bigger the piece, the more extra you leave. So when you first go to draw out your diamonds, I always start by drawing a big plus in the middle of the material, making sure everything's 90 degrees. And the pencil I'm actually using is just a simple white chalk pencil. It comes off with water, so if you mess up, you can just spray it down with a bottle and then wipe it off and restart just fine. These diamonds are actually going to be 3 inches long and 1.5 inches wide. And the way we're going to go about measuring these out, I'm centering that first diamond perfectly in the middle of that plus. So on the y-axis, I'm making it 1.5 inches above and below the x-axis. And on the y-axis, I'm just making that a total of 1.5 inches wide. As you can see here, just kind of drawing those points of the diamond. And I'm going to continue those measurements along the x and the y-axis. So the horizontal line, I'm making those tick marks just 1.5 inches apart, and on the vertical line, I'm making them 3 inches apart. Once you get all the tick marks you want drawn out, all you're going to do is line up the ruler with those tick marks and go ahead and draw all your lines. And eventually you'll see a pattern. For me, it's about 1/4 inch away from the line. I'm keeping the ruler nice and parallel, and you just follow that pattern and just keep going down. And you have your diamonds drawn out. So the material I'm using is actually already foam backed with 1/4 inch foam, but I'm adding 1/2 inch foam. And as you can see, it has this little thin material on the back of it. That is very important for the diamonds. That is what the stitching is actually going to hold and kind of sandwich the foam between. So if you don't have foam without that little material on the back of it, your diamonds will not show up. For these panels, I'm actually going with a total of 3/4 inch foam. That might be a little overkill to some people, but for these, I really want the diamonds to be nice and tight and full, and you can achieve that by adding more foam. And you'll notice if you go to sew with just 1/4 inch, which is also fine, they just won't necessarily be as tight and full as you see with these. One thing I didn't mention is you're going to want to glue the absolute snot out of the foam to the material. Really make sure it sticks on there. That's going to save you when it comes to sewing these diamonds down. Because if you don't, the material can get a little squirrely and some of your diamonds will look straight up whack. So before you sew, make sure glue the snot out of it together. Really make sure that is one cohesive piece. Now all that's left to do is to just sew on all of our lines. You really want to make sure you're actually sewing straight and you're following the lines pretty well. But if you veer off, not to worry. There's going to be so many diamonds, it's next to impossible to tell. If I'm being honest, I do it occasionally, and nobody has ever noticed. So if you've got a little crooked stitch in there, not to worry. It's all good. Just keep rolling with it. And here's what it's going to look like once you have all the lines sewn on one side. Forewarning, when you go to sew the other side after you've already sewn one down, because it is going to be pleated, it's going to skew your lines a little bit. So from your point of view, they're going to look a little bit wavy, but just make sure you keep sewing straight. The machine is going to want to sew straight, so let the machine do what it wants to do. Just help guide it, and your lines should be straight. They should go through those humps just fine. And that's all you're going to do. Just sew the other side, and bada bing, bada boom. If you made it this far in the video, I thank you very much for watching. It truly does mean a lot to me. And I know my voice can be a little bit boring, especially when I'm going through boring knowledge, but I'm just trying my best to relay the most accurate info to you guys. Alright, here's the deal. I watch a lot of YouTube too, so I get it. It can be a little repetitive hearing people constantly ask you to subscribe, especially because y'all already know to subscribe if you like the channel and you like what the channel's about. So I'm not going to ask y'all to subscribe. This is me not asking y'all to subscribe to my channel if you genuinely like what I'm putting out. Okay? So I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe. So you know what? You do what you want. I trust you. You're smart. Moving on. And there you have it, a nice diamond stitch panel. And you can really tell they're nice and full. It really accentuates the shadows and really makes the diamonds pop. So if you like this video, maybe try out a few of my other ones. I wouldn't be mad if you did. And I'll see you on the next one.